Hey guys, so here's another example of one of my all-time favorite fans, the Codep Model 100, or people often say hundo as slang for hundreds, so I've been calling these hundos. These are a childhood fan in kind of an interesting way. So I saw them in ads online, like, somebody posted a picture of an old newspaper ad or magazine ad or something like that. Never knew what they were. I was looking for one of my all-time favorite fans, the friction drive new tone, and somebody on eBay had posted one of these with the ornate sides, and I was like, oh, that's got to be the same company because those look so similar, but I knew it wasn't the exact fan. But they wanted a lot of money for it at the time. I can't remember how much they wanted. I think it was in the hundreds, and so I couldn't get it. And then later and again, this was in the 90s, the early days of eBay. I was still pretty young. There was one on eBay, and I wasn't sure what it was. I thought maybe it was my friction drive new tone that I wanted so bad. So I pulled the trigger on it and bought it. I think it was like 75 bucks with shipping. And I got it. And it was not. It was a Codep 100, which I'd never seen in person before. And that's the one that's in the museum without the light. The 2-speed one, which is the earliest one that I have. And this is the latest one that I have, because it's got the switch cap that mounts in the sides. The blade brackets are a little different. They use newer style screws. I got this from another collector, and I honestly can't remember if it came with a down rod and mounting and canopy or not. If it did, then this is the canopy it came with, which is odd because it's a moss vaulted ceiling kit canopy. But it's possible it didn't come with a canopy and down rod, and I just, going through the garage, this is what I could find. So I'll have to ask the guy I got it from if this canopy goes with it or not. As Metal Pete would say, this one's a bit of a dog. The pull chain broke off in shipping. It still works, just the plastic finial broke off, so it could be super glued. Or just replace the pull chain. Blade brackets were badly bent when the person I had bought it from got it. They bent them some, I bent them some more, but they're still pretty bent. Bearings were really stiff and noisy. I put a little oil and WD-40 in them, and they're better, but they're not perfect. But I don't want to make it perfect because it's not getting hung right now. So, yeah, so because of that whole history, Codep 100, and especially with it being such a rare fan, is one of my all-time favorite fans. And I'm really looking for the version with the ornate sides and the integrated light. If I found that version, it would replace one of the two in the museum. Yeah, I mean, we keep finding new versions of them. So, my least favorite versions are the ones like this with this separate switch housing. But I still like them. I mean, it's like a bad version of a Terra, or a bad version of an Island Fans. There's even the version I like the least is still really, really cool. And these were made by ViewFan. They have a cast iron motor, and the housing and other parts are solid brass. So here it's set to low. 0.27. Nice low speed on this. I thought for sure the capacitor drifted when I tried it on low. But in fact, the high speed seems plenty fast, so I think it's just a nice slow low. Okay, low power factor. So because you can see the pull chain finial broke off, I have to pull it like this. Medium. 0.52. So higher power factor. I'd love to do like a restaurant install of these, or even like a 12 wings banquet room type install of these. Just some room where they'd have lights on them and there'd be a lot of them, or even a mix with lights and no lights. They'd have to be really high up though, especially because I wouldn't want anything happening to those blade arms. It's not like you can get replacements. High. Is that high? Yep. Power factor of 1. And these do fall into the K55 category. They're quite powerful fans. They're 56-inch, so they have a little bit of a cheat there. So the bearings have quieted down. They're not making any sound now. They were before, so that's a good thing. See, one blade is still bent worse than the rest. I'm going to see if I can eyeball which blade it is. I really cranked on these blade arms and didn't break them, so I'll put these in the same category as like Hunter original blade arms, that they're pretty hard to break. There's that one in there is the highest. That one's the shallowest pitch. That one's still kind of shallow. That's a steeper pitch. And then the one that hasn't passed it. You can see those bearings are still pretty stiff. And it should be the same for in reverse. We're not going to check all the values. Somebody else took this apart before because one of the reverse switch screws is missing. I understand because it's really hard to get back in there, so I can understand why. I think the ones that I've taken apart, I think I didn't put that top reverse switch screw back in either. Yeah, so I've been thinking recently about my other fans that would potentially be living room fans here if I didn't have the Columbia 500, or if I decided to swap it out for something. And I'll tell you, an ornate sided Codep 100 would probably be on that list, especially if it didn't have the switch housing. Make sure it's on high. Yep. iFan is another one. Three, oh, 4. 5. Didn't start till 5. These bearings are quite stiff. Six, 7. We obviously know these work well on the learning remote because we got 2 of them now in the museum on a learning remote. As if 1 wasn't enough. So that's the question. If I do find one with the ornate sides, which do I replace it with? The front one, which is more interesting, no switch housing, ornate, but also more common. Or the back one, which is the only version I've ever seen like that, fully plain with an integrated single light. I'd be inclined to replace the front one, because that's been there the longest and it's also the most common. 10. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and we're getting close, but we're not there yet. That's high, just checking. 21, 2, 23, 24, 30, 40, so 40 just is about right on point, but doesn't go over. Oh, I'm an idiot. I did this all through the lamp meter. Okay, so we're going to try this again. My apologies. Here is high, not through the lamp. So very similar. Let's see, there's 30. 40. Yeah, so still doesn't go over. And let's see where it starts. My fault. It's a very minute difference, but it does make a difference. 3, 4, 5. Not starting on 5, this one. 6. 7. Am I doing something wrong now? 8. 9. We're going to try that again, because I think it must have just hit a really rough spot in the bearings. Oh yeah, look at how quick that's stopping. And now it starts at 6. Yeah, those bearings need some TLC. So let's go back to solid state. One thing I hate about these view fan motors is they do even the best of them, even the cast iron ones, don't have great bearings. 8th of a turn. It's a little noise, but not much. Living room quiet, I'd say. High. Okay, let's do 0 to high. So really not much inrush. Let's see what the... Yep, lamp doesn't change the power factor. Okay, let's see if I get to anything else tonight. There's full speed. Thanks for watching.